It's the most wonderful time of the year, the holidays. What comes with holiday besides family togetherness and Christmas presents? Watching a classic Christmas holiday movie. No, not that one. No, not that one. Closer, but no. Yes, I'm talking about Die Hard.
Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
But the screenwriter said that it was a Christmas movie. He said that he considers it a Christmas.
So who's a...
Right, now before you guys get into a comment war, I'm actually going to take the time to explain what makes it a Christmas movie and what does not make it a Christmas movie. And then I'll come to a decision at the end of the video, so stay tuned. This is also a good time to give you a spoiler warning.
Most people write letters to movie stars. The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof. P.S. Do you know Mad Max?
Now, to go over the plot a bit, John McClane, played by Bruce Willis, is a police detective who is attending a company holiday party that his wife works for. There, he wants to make an attempt to reconcile with his wife and his children. Oh, and I should mention this is in LA, so there's actually no snow there, so... But yeah, anyway... There's going to be a Christmas party that they're getting together for. And here, Hans Gruber, played by the late Alan Rickman, who you also know as Severus Snape in the Harry Potter franchise. Now here he is, posing as a terrorist, trying to steal millions of dollars and having all these people in ransom. Yeah, I don't think I need to go into further detail that this is a run-of-the-mill, typical hostage situation. Bombs are being planted, goons come in to help him out, and police are surrounding the area trying to negotiate and trying to breach the perimeter so that they can take down the guy. And then there's McClane, who was still in the hotel and who couldn't get his set of clothes in time because of the terrorist attack and is trying to sneak around in vents and through various hidden areas to hide from the goons while taking him down secretly and while trying to evade death. Maybe that's why they call it Die Hard. They just can't seem to kill this guy, but instead give him something so painful to go through while trying to kill him.
That's the joke.
Now, why do people say it's not a Christmas movie? Well, there's a very simple explanation. Christmas movies tend to stay Christmas movies. Everything around it is about Christmas. But more importantly, every Christmas movie has a tradition to teach us the true meaning behind Christmas, and they pretty much tell it straightforward.
He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as the good old city ever had. And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed the knowledge. May that truly be said of us, and all of us.
How you feel about your family is a complicated thing.
Especially with an older brother.
Deep down, you always love them. But you can forget that you love them. And you can hurt them, and they can hurt you.
Upon inspection of the article, you will see the words, "In God we trust." And we're not here to prove that God exists, but we are here to prove that a being just as invisible and yet just as present exists. Federal government puts its trust in God. It does so on faith and faith alone. It's the will of the people that guides the government. And it is and was their collective faith in a greater being that gave and gives cause to the inscription on this bill. Now, if the government of the United States can issue its currency bearing a declaration of trust in God without demanding physical evidence of the existence or the non-existence of a greater being, then the state of New York, by a similar demonstration of the collective faith of its people, can accept and acknowledge that Santa Claus does exist, and he exists in the person of Kris Kringle.
Die Hard does not at all do that. In fact, there was no focus on Christmas. In fact, most Christmas movies tend to be very in-your-face about what's the lesson to learn behind Christmas and what took place in the movie. Die Hard, on the other hand, went nowhere near talking about what's important about Christmas, at least in your face. In fact, they focus more on the action and battling terrorists. Unlike the previous mentioned movies, Die Hard does not stick with any sort of Christmas elements to it. But now that leads me to question, why is it a Christmas movie? Outside the plot and in the universe of the Die Hard movies, you do see that this film was actually released in the summer. But here's the thing about filmmaking. Most of the time, it's about showing and not telling. Most films should not need a narration, or messages should not be thrown in your face. These are things you have to read between the lines and understand based on what was presented to you. And with that being said, this is why I think Die Hard is, in the end, a Christmas movie. Now, hold on, hear me out before you start commenting or disliking what I have to say. It's about a family coming together, and you really see them try to make things right for each other. Not to mention, you do see the Christmas imagery and music all around you. In fact, you do see it from start to finish. Even if it does try not to be the main focus, you at least get the small subtle things. And you clearly see a lot of Christmas merchandise regarding Die Hard, and a lot of subtle jokes that does talk about how Die Hard is clearly a Christmas movie. But what do you think? Are you still not convinced? Please leave a comment below and explain why you're not convinced. Otherwise, if you are, feel free to share what else I've missed. And please, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and have a happy holidays.